Good morning, everyone. I hope you're keeping well. I'm just going to adjust this light a bit because it's, oh no, that's the sun, I think. No? Who knows what it is? I think it's this light. No, I think it's the light from the kitchen. Anyway, move that out of the way for a second. That's better. Now, I'm very excited. I hope you've probably seen lots of stuff about the new hot foiling system on Facebook. I'm seeing it absolutely everywhere, and I've just had a great time playing. So I'll show you these up closer so you can see. So sparkly. I'm just in love with this one. It's a full plate, so it's quite large, so you can do a large area. And then, so I've used it, you can see here, fully. And then I've just cut down this piece here and added the butterflies. So I've just blended the background. So I've started off with white card with that one. And then this one, I've gone a bit vintagey rogue. So I've used this beautiful brick with the silver, and then use one of the butterflies again, because there's about 5 butterflies in this set. So this butterfly was done at the same time that these were. So again, I've just blended ink over that. I've used Gorgeous Grape and Secret Sea. And then I've just gone rogue with some stamping. So this is the matching stamp set. So this crackled one and this, I'd call it like a damask kind of stamp. And then the brick stamp come with the, in a bundle with this foiling die and 2 other foiling dies, so it's quite nice. And then there's this lovely little sentiment set as well that just does these little mini sentiments. And then there's the larger set that does the bigger sentiments as well. So there's a huge amount of variety. The little card that I'm going to demonstrate for you today is this one, where you're actually using the positive of the foil and then the negative of the foil, because I hate waste. So there is a way that you can do it through the foiling machine, but I've just added some adhesive sheet, which I'll show you how I've attached it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and make this little one. Now I'm just going to turn the machine on because it does take about 7 minutes to heat up from cold. So it comes with the heating part, comes with a little protective mat here, so that because it does get a bit hot underneath it, so it comes with this protective mat, so it protects your table or whatever surface you're working on. So we'll just plug that in there, and you can see the lights come on. So this is not actually a button, it's just a little icon that tells you where this little plug goes in. So it's magnetic, so and you just pop it out and then it clips back in. So now you can see the red light is flashing, so that is heating the mat up. So like I said, it takes about 7 minutes, but we'll do some other things while we're going along. It also, so it doesn't come with any dies, the dies come separately, but of course the in Australia the system is $280. I'm offering a little reward, some Stampin' Rewards for anybody who buys the system as a little extra bonus from me. It also comes with a silicone mat so that you can, and it comes with the magnetic picker-upper. I'm sure there's another name for it, but it just picks up. And then you can, after you've heated it up, you can then just press the button and it just falls onto the little silicone mat. So, and then it also comes, of course, with the cords and with the 2 plates that go on top to be able to put through the Stampin' Up die cutting and embossing machine. So you do need the Stampin' Up die cutting and embossing machine. If you don't have that, then you, in order to use this system, you would need to have that machine. And I'm offering to my beautiful customers some Stampin' Rewards for that as well. Okay, so that's my little offers. I'll add those to the little blurb that I'll put above this video. So you'll have all the details there. So you don't need to try and remember anything right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to prepare the little embossed area. So I've used, this is a retired embossing folder, but this one here has just come out recently, which I really love. And you could use it for quite a range of celebrations. So I thought it looked good for Christmas with the stars and the swirls, but it could be a good birthday card, you know, some sort of celebrations card. Now, I didn't have the Stampin' Up die cutting machine when the hot foiling machine came out, so I've bought that. I love it. It's actually quite compact in the fact that I'll just move that out of the way for the second so we can see this a bit better. So it folds down, so both ends, and then it folds up, so it's quite compact, which I really like. So the other thing that I really like about it is it does come with a few different plates. So you can emboss with the thinner embossing folders. So you can see here, this is a thin one, but then you've also got the 3D embossing folders. And on the plate, so all the plates are numbered. So you've got 3, you've got 1, you've got 2, and it will tell you what they're needed for. So using dies, you use plates 1, 2, and 2 of the 3s. For using the 2D, so your standard embossing folder, you're using your main plate, your 1 and 2 of the 3s. Okay, so 2 of the clear plates. And then it's also got a combination for your 3D embossing folders. So it's really user-friendly. And then you're just rolling it on through. It does take a little bit to get it started, but once it's started, it's quite easy. Now, the thing with foiling and the embossing machine, the die cutting machine, is that you need to do it a bit slowly. So just in order to get that nice foiling. So you can see I'll put that through quite quickly, but for the foiling, we'll go through a bit slower. So that's all ready. So I can blend around that a little bit. So I'm just going to keep this fairly monochromatic. So we'll just do that. Now this is marked as Merry Merlot, but I've actually because Merry Merlot is a retired ink, so I've just re-inked it with Cherry Cobbler, which is the closest ink that they have at the moment. So I'm just going to ink, just blend gently around the edge with the Cherry Cobbler. And I'm not going to stick that on because we're going to put some ribbon on. I've used some little bling here, some little rhinestones, but I'm going to put ribbon on this time. So I'm just going to use the die as a bit of a measurement for how much. So I'll have one coming low. We'll just do 2 about that long. So I'll have those ready. So if we have that one about there, and I'll stick those onto the back of the dies once we've done them. And just pop some tape, oops, on the back of this. Get that already. You can see I've obviously lent this tape up against a blending brush or an ink pad. Got colour everywhere. Okay, so that's that done. What else do we need done? I might do some of the die cutting. Oh, I know what we can prepare. Our little adhesive sheet. Now, this card is from an old stash and it's got a linen look on it. Now, with the foiling, it tends to foil better on the smooth side. So you can see there, it's still got a bit of a linen pattern on it, but I'm going to put the adhesive sheet on the smooth side and I will foil on the smoother side so that we get a more crisp pattern. If you're after like a vintage look, then of course you can do it on the textured side. Now Stampin' Up's cardstock is all smooth. They're two-tone cardstock, which comes in 12 by 12 inches. So I've just pulled the backing off the adhesive sheet so you can see that's nice and sticky. And I'm just going to lay that down on there. Okay, so that's ready to go. So yeah, so like I was saying, the Stampin' Up's 12 by 12 cardstock is two-tone, so it's got a white core. That's really smooth, so that foils beautifully. Their A4 size cardstock is a little bit more, it's smooth, but it's got a little bit of a roughness to it. So again, you might get a little bit of not crisp foiling. So again, if you're wanting to have that sort of vintagey distressed look, then that would be the way to go. Okay, so that's still what we could do. Now, because I'm thinking, no, I think this is too wide. So I've done this card in landscape. Oh, there we go. So this is ready. So we can put, we don't really need our little magnetic thing just now. So we can just lay that on. And then we press the little timer button. So you can see it's really easy. This will just heat up and it'll beep again and go green when it's ready for the foil to go on. So when we put our foil on, so what I do is how I want it. So this is how I want it. I want this to be seen and I want this to be seen. So then I'm going to turn that way to lay it down, because then that will press into it, heat it up, and press the image into the cardstock. So if we turn it this way, we're going to get the foil going, laying on the top of that, which we don't want. We want the foil on our card. So you're going to put it, have it set up how you're wanting to see it, and then you turn it over and put it down. Okay, so that'll take about another 30 seconds or so. Because we've done it from scratch, when you're working and doing a few things, it will heat up more quickly. Okay, so what else can we do? We've put tape on the back of that. We can, I might just quickly do our little die cuts here. Oh no, it's ready. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to lay that down. So we just pick an area that we like. I like these bigger, having the bigger flowers. So I'm just going to plonk that on there like that. Then I put down our 2 plates. So just the green plate first, which is called the Hot Foil Shim. So just lay that on. You can see I've got a little bit of overfoiling there, which is normal, that's fine. And then we've got our hot foil spacer. Okay, so we just have that on. We well, not break it, but pull that off. Pick up this, come around the back here, and we move this all away, bring it over, and then we just slowly take it through. Okay, so just winding it slowly, not at 100 miles an hour like I did with the embossing. You can see it makes a clunk, which is normal, that's fine. Lay our system down on its little protective mat. Pick up our little piece here. And now the magic happens. So how pretty is that? All sparkly. Then we've got this piece left over. Okay, so this is where we can put it down on the piece that we prepared earlier. So just, we'll pick up a corner here. Pick that up. So we've got our stickiness there. And then we're just going to lay it down. So you can see one side's really shiny and the other side's a bit duller. So we want the shiny side up. So it can be a bit clingy. So what I do is just lift it up and let it fall to the edge, and then it should fall almost into place. Just press it down, and then we'll put that. So we'll grab our plates here. So we want all of our plates. We want the 1, the 2, and a 3. You can see this is the first time I've used them because they've not got a single mark on them. Now, one of the 3 plates I would keep as a top plate, so with no die cuts into it, and the other plate I would keep as your cutting plate, so that your marks are only going to go into one plate. Now, I did try this last night and it managed to cut through 2 at the same time. So let's hope. Now, because this is a bit of a directional pattern in this section, I'm just going to make sure that they're both going in the right direction. And looking for the area. So, because I've got a little bit of leeway here, but I really like that flower. So I'm going to move it right to the very edge. And then I've got my piece of, I might move it over just slightly. So that is really the centerpiece. I'm going to pop my little bit of tape there. I've also got my little die cut for the sentiment, and I've got my 2 little pieces for the little toppers for my decorations. Just plonk this on. Okay. And we'll pop our little top number 3 on. I'll put that through. You can hear all the clunking and clicking going on, that's normal. Now let's see, hopefully that's cut through the 2, and yes, it has. So how good's that? So that's great. Just take them away. Now, if I'd planned this a little bit better, I could have made this piece a little bit bigger, and then I could have used this, I could have used both of them for a frame around the, to make a shaker card. So think about that too when you're die cutting. If you're after a shaker card, you can just make this a little bit bigger and use this as your shaker card frame. So we've got our 2, our positive and our negatives. So that's turned out really nicely. And we've got our little label for our sentiment. And we've got our 2 little decoration toppers. So we'll put this all aside. I'm just going to edge around that with a bit of the cherry cobbler again. Now I could stamp it in black, the sentiment, but because I'm keeping this quite monochromatic and I want it to be a little bit softer rather than black, I'm going to do it in the red. So this is one of Merry Christmas to You and Yours, is one of the new July products that's come out. It's part of one of the sets. So we just ink that up, line that up, and that's all ready to go. Close that up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this. This is our main feature, and this one is the back, the one at the back. Now, can I could. Yeah, how does that look? I got red on my fingers, obviously somewhere there. I always, okay, well this one we're going to turn and make it that way. Are my ribbon bits long enough? Yes, I think they're going to be long enough. So I'm going to pop a little bit of tape on the back of each of these. Just on that part there, just to put the ribbon. Maybe that other bit go under there, of course. There we go. So they're set to go. I'm also going to pop the mounting tape on. Now these big pieces are quite good, but what I find is if you can't get them off, or the little ones are a little bit smaller, is you can just use your pokey tool, a multi-tool. Also remember that you can use these pieces around the edge because they're mounting tape as well. So don't forget to use these pieces around the edge. Now I think that's enough. And we're going to put a little bit of tape on the back of the little toppers. Now you could use glue. I'm a big tape girl because I find if I've made a mistake and I want to readjust it, then tape is a bit more forgiving than glue. Glue I find, put a bit of red on that too. My fingers get popping into everything. And just pop that on. And I'll pop a bit of tape across here. Now normally I would attach the card base now, but because I'm going to add the ribbon to the back of it, I'm just going to take that off and I'm going to set these how I want them. So I think, yeah, that one lower and that one higher. And then I think that can just go under there. So I'm just going to have tape on the back of that. Usually I mount the sentiment, but in this case I'm going to leave it because I want the decorations to feature. Okay, now I can go a little bit over on with the decoration here because you can see I've left a bit of a border, so I think that will actually look all right. I can separate them a little bit more. So I'm happy with that positioning. I'm just going to take that off. And I think that was about where I wanted it. Okay, then I can flip that bit of tape over and just add it to that. What I might do is just put another bit of tape over that just to secure it. Okay, so that's on. Then I'm going to take the backing off our mounting tape. And this one I'm going to put about there. I think I'm happy with that. And then again, we'll fold it over. Just make sure I haven't gone off. Oh yeah, that's a bit, you want those hangers to be straight. That looks straight to me. And then I'm going to put another little bit there. Now I can take all the tape off and add it to my base card. Just make sure it's the right way up, and it wasn't, of course. Okay, so then we can just add that to there. Now, if you like white on white, you could have just left it. Like, we could have just had a look at this piece of card. Because it's embossed, it still stands out. So you could have just left this white and maybe just had the sentiment being blended. But, you know, I quite like a little bit of extra blending sometimes. So again, when you make your cards, just have a little bit of a play with them and just think, you know, what do I like the look of? What pleases my eye? Because that's what I find is the best judge of whether your card is pretty or not. What's pleasing for you? You're making it. If it's pleasing to you, that's great. Okay, so there's our little card. I hope you like it. So again, red or blue, portrait or landscape. Which do you prefer? Let me know. Ribbon or rhinestones. Have a wonderful day, and please, if you've got any questions at all about the foiling system, I know it's a little bit expensive compared to some of the other products that we've got available, but it is an investment. It's a great machine. I've really enjoyed playing with it, and the bling factor is just great. But you can see also that it's not just for bling. Well, it is for bling, but you've got the subtle bling of the more vintage look too. So I'm sure they'll come out with lots more dies. There's lots to choose from already. But please let me know, and I'm very happy to talk with you about any questions. You're most welcome to come and have a play. I'm going to organise like a free make and take where people can come and have a play with it too. Okay, so have a wonderful day, happy crafting, and bye for now. Bye.